Today we're testing out and finding out the truth about Jadon Sancho. Is he wondrous, mid, or doo-doo? We're going to be putting him to the test. If he doesn't get 3 goals and 3 assists in the 3 games, he's either mid or doo-doo. But if he does get that, he's either wondrous or mid. I'm also going to be breaking down all of his stats and letting you know what I like about the card. And I'm also going to be telling you the best ways to use this card for it to get you more wins if you decide to buy it. But pay attention, there are multiple important things that you need to know about this card, so stay tuned for that. Now right away we can talk about Jadon Sancho's dribbling ability. And I'm not going to lie to you, his dribbling is pretty good. It doesn't come off like the best of the best dribblers, but it's actually pretty good. I don't have too many issues with it, but if you're looking for them quick twists and turns, he's not going to be to that level, but it's still pretty good dribbling. Now, although I said his dribbling is just good, his skill moves do come off nice and clean. I ain't gonna lie, but you have to make sure you do some nice skill moves with him because they are fun to use. His dribbling is definitely not garbage at all. Now, what about his shooting and clinicality ability? His finishing is decent. He only has 85 shots. So there are times where I use his shot and it won't always go in, especially when you're outside the box because his long shot is kind of mid, but his finishing isn't too bad. But if you hit the finesse like Messi outside the box, it's not always guaranteed, but it's still a high chance because he has the finesse like Messi plus. Now, what about Jadon Sancho's pace? Now listen, bruh, he has quick step, so he can definitely boost forward pretty well, but that sprint speed for a while, some of these defenders just find a way to catch up to him. So I suggest you cut back a little bit, cut inside and try and pass or hit the finesse like Messi with this card, or do them whip crosses because he has whip pass plus, so his crossing accuracy is crazy. So these are the situations really where you put his pace to the test. You boost it forward early, but if you continue to run, the defender most likely will catch up. So do quick spurts of pace. That's the best way to utilize Sancho. Now this is one of the many examples I was talking about with his finesse like Messi not being the best, especially with the long shots. So I do suggest now you put a hawk on him so his long shots are much better because Hunter doesn't really put up the long shots, bruh. So put a hawk on him and he'll be definitely better from outside the box and basically anywhere and still boost the pace. But for the most part, when Jadon Sancho's in the box, even if you red time, he can still put the ball hole in the back of the net. Now one more thing before I get into the best ways of using this card even more is with his passing ability, it is actually pretty good. He has incisive pass, whip pass, so with this guy trying to create chances for your other players is absolutely heavenly. So that is a plus for Jadon Sancho, for sure, for sure. Now one way I suggest you use this card is definitely doing some skill moves to break down your opponents. Skill moves are not as good as last year in terms of just dancing, but it's still effective, especially when you have 5-star. So do the Elastico Clásicos, do all those stop Elastico Clásicos, it will create space, and then when you pass with this card, he will be accurate as a mofo. Now Sancho's attacking positioning was not garbage, but it wasn't anything crazy either. But when he found the right space, he would definitely finish with absolutely heavenly clinicality. In the box, clinical. Now another great way I suggest you use this card is doing the 1-2s simply because of his quick step. So when you pass it and he takes another step, it will be faster than usual so he can get in behind a little bit. So always try the 1-2s. But listen, cards like Sancho, I repeat, always try to avoid physical contact because he's an absolute puss in boots. 59 strength, weak and no aggression at all either. So he will fail you if any defender gets close to him. He will get bodied off the pelota like it's nothing to him. Now another thing to do when you're playing with this card, if he has the space, cut inside with him and try and bait the defender to dance until you can get the finesse like Messi option, and especially if you're in the box, it's most of the time going in. I didn't green time there, that's why I didn't score. But now we get to the big question, is Jadon Sancho wondrous, mid, or doo-doo? But before we find that out, I have to reveal his stats in the 3 games. So in the 3 games, Jadon Sancho finished with 4 goals and 1 assist, which is not too crazy. He still got above 3 goals, but he didn't get much more assists, probably because he just didn't get the opportunities. But now it leads me to the question, is he wondrous, mid, or doo-doo? Now for me, playing with this card, I think he's absolutely mid. He has his spurts where you can feel a little bit wondrous. We can call him midrous, but in total, mid. That 4-star weak foot comes into play, ruins it a little bit, and the shot power is not so special. The only way he's decent is when you put the hawk on it, but overall, mid. Also tested out this card right here. Find out if he's wondrous, mid, or doo-doo as well. Adios.